Today, I'm going to talk to you about drifting, what it is, how it started, and the man who started it. So, like most of my speeches, I'm going to start this one off with asking you a question. Have any of you ever been driving in a hydroplane? If the answer is yes, then most likely it was not on purpose. It's pretty terrifying when you slide out of control, and it's obviously something that you do not do on purpose. And it turns out this is exactly what some people do for fun, and it is a sport called drifting. Now, drifting started in the late 90s and grew into a professional sport that's now known as a sport called Formula Drift. And then I will go over a few main points. The first point I will go over today is what drifting is, a little bit of definition of what it is and how it works. Then I will talk to you about the man who started it, and then what it became after that and how it became a professional sport called Formula Drift. So, today I'm going to start off, before I get too ahead of myself, it's time to talk about what drifting is. There's a few definitions of what drifting is, but my favorite is a definition from Urban Dictionary where they state drifting is how to aim one's car at the wall and miss it completely. Drifting is the opposite of grip driving. Now, that is technically what drifting is, but it's not as technical as it should be. In an article from Julia Layton, last updated on June 15, 2006, she stated drivers force their car sideways through a turn, which is technically what it is, but it's not as exciting as the Urban Dictionary definition. So, according to Red Bull, on an article last updated in February 6, 2021, they say drifting is the fastest growing motorsport in the world. And it's the fastest growing motorsport in the world for a reason. Later in that article, they say maybe it's the simple elegance of seeing cars stream down the lane sideways, or the appreciation of expertise and balanced dance between cars, driver, and road. Now, that's what drifting is, but it's crazy to think about the man who started it, who decided to be the first person to slide their car sideways out of control on purpose, all in the name of fun. Well, technically, that's not exactly how it started. According to Fitment Industries, in a video called How the History of Drifting, last updated in June 8, 2021, Takahashi was the man who started it all. He was the first person to actually drift, and it was not actually what it is today and how we see drifting today. He started his career in motorcycle racing and had a major crash, which ended up bringing him to race on all four wheels instead of two. When he started driving and racing on all four wheels, he had a unique technique where he would drive around corners very fast and actually lose traction of his tires and slide around the corner sideways, and it was the fastest way to get around the corner. It ended up winning him races and making him famous. Then later after that, in an article from Track Days, last updated on April 9th, 2014, drifting was adopted by the street racers and practiced in the mountain hills late at night, where they would not get chased by the police because the police would stay in nearby towns and not bother the street racers, and they would let them do whatever they wanted in the mountains as long as they did not come down to the nearby towns or cities and cause mayhem. So the police just let them do whatever they want up there. Later, in the late 90s, there was a show called Initial D where there was a kid who delivered tofu to nearby towns and shops in the mountain passes, and he would do what we know as drifting, but he did not know that he was drifting until his friend got him into the racing community. And like Takahashi, he's drifting to win races, and it was an all-around great show, and I would recommend it. Now that you know about the man who started it and how it got jump started, it's time to talk about where it went after that. After it started in Japan, like most trends, it transitioned to America and grew, whether legally or not legally, it grew to what we know it as today, a sport called Formula Drift. On a YouTube video by Gears and Gasoline, last updated on May 23rd, 2017, they said it's a competition to see who is best at controlling the cars when the cars are sliding out of control. And this is an all around gist of what drifting is. But there are three main points that three judges use to critique drivers' performances to score them accordingly. The first is line. Line is where they critique the driver based off of their line that they take as they go throughout the course, as they have to follow an acceleration and deceleration zone and follow that accordingly, otherwise they might crash. The second one is angle. Judges judge angle by the angle that they take as they go through a turn, as if they have too much angle, they might slow down and spin out, or if they have not enough angle, they might crash or hit the person behind them or in front of them. And the last is style. Style is not something physical, but it is something that judges have to critique based on initiation, fluidity, and commitment to the drift. Now, now that I have taught you about drifting, what it is, the man who started it, and what it is today, it's time to bring you to my conclusion, which is the art of drifting, whether illegal or not, is something that will grow and catch attention of young and older drivers and maybe even get people into the car community. And it is even something you might see on your TVs and shows today. Thank you.